Hi class, I am so glad that you're joining me. We're doing the ending part, the last part of our math chapter 9, and we're dealing with now capacity and weight. And capacity is kind of a big word, so I want to talk to you a little bit about what does capacity mean. And we're going to compare. That means we're going to look at two different things and determine something about two different things. So if you notice, I have two bowls here, and they are different sizes. This one's smaller, and this one's larger. We have two baskets. We have a basket here that's bigger, and a basket that's smaller. And then down here, we have a bunny that's making a piece of jelly toast, and there's raspberry or strawberry jelly. There's a smaller jar, and there's a larger jar. So capacity is how much something could hold. So if you have a smaller capacity, it won't hold as much. If you have a larger capacity, it holds more. It has a bigger ability to hold more things. For instance, if I had a small box, I can only hold one donut. Whereas if Mrs. Duffield had a big box with a big capacity, I could have lots of donuts in there. Yummy, 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 yummy. Okay, so let's look. It says we're going to circle the container that holds more, has a bigger capacity, and then we're going to mark the one that has a smaller or less with an X. So we're going to circle the one that has more capacity and put an X on the ones that have less capacity or are smaller. So let's look at our two bowls. Which one has more or is larger, has more capacity? Yes, this one. They did our little dotting, so let's go ahead and circle around this one. Yes. Oops, and I forgot to put my name on it. Go ahead and put your name. I know I stapled your pages together, so if you want to keep them stapled together and only put your name on one, that's fine. Just make sure you keep them stapled together if you do that. Okay, so we're going to cross out the one that has less capacity. Which one has less capacity or a smaller capacity out of these two bowls? That's right. Let me cross that one out. So this one is smaller, has less capacity. This one has more capacity. It can hold more. It's larger. All right, let's do the same for the basket. Circle the one that has more capacity. Which one can hold more? Good. This one can hold more. It's bigger. It has more. Okay, cross out the one that has less capacity. It holds less of these two. Very good. That one has less. Okay, how about our jam? Our jam, which one has more jam? Is a bigger jar of jam. Which one has more? Yes. Go ahead and circle that one. Which one has less jam? Is a smaller jar, has a smaller capacity. Yes, this one. All right, we're doing good. That's a new word for us. Okay, let's go ahead and look on the other side. So we're still looking at containers that hold more and containers that hold less. So more, less. More, less. So let's look at this first one. It says a sport drink, be like Gatorade or something. I want you to go ahead and circle the container that holds more and put an X on the container that holds less. So of these two, which one holds more? Which one's bigger? Yes. Okay, I'm only going to do one of these with you, and then I want you to do the other three. Okay, which one holds less? We're going to put an X on the one out of these two that holds less. It's smaller. Yes. Good job. Okay, I want you to do this one. Circle the one that has more. I'm not going to do it for you, but I'll pause and let you do it. And you can also pause the video if I go too fast. So circle the one that has more. Okay, put an X on the one that has less. Good. Okay. Of these two, this looks like you could have lemonade, or there's a Kool-Aid, maybe it's red, so maybe it's Kool-Aid. Circle the container that holds more of these two. And put an X on the one that holds less. Which one holds less? Okay, we're going to the juice. It's apple juice. We've got a little jar and a big jug. Circle the one out of these two that holds more. Put an X on the one that holds less. Okay. Now that one I didn't do for you, so you need to do that one yourself. Okay, so now we're looking at comparing weight and left and right. So I'm going to put my name up at the top. We've done some left and right, and as you notice, you can also get your handy little name. It's got left, right, left, right. So you can have that where you can see it. You won't be able to tell. It also has it here, left and right. So it's saying to hold one object in your right hand and one object in your left, and circle the object that feels heavier. So if you can go find a book and go find a pencil. Pause the video, go find a book and go find a pencil, and I want you to hold one of each in your hand. I've got mine right here. I've got our Amelia Bedelia, so I've got my book in one hand and my notebook, my pencil in the other. Which one is heavier? Which one weighs more? Which one do I feel like it's heavier when I'm weighing them, when I feel them? Which one's lighter? Okay, out of these two, and I suppose how big your book is will be the dramatic difference between how heavy it is. So does this one feel lighter than the book that you have, or heavier? What do you think? My pencil's pretty light. I almost don't feel that I'm holding it. The book, however, the book, I can tell if I was to hold it with just one finger, kind of like this, it would fall right out of my hand. So it definitely weighs more. So I want you to circle the object out of these two that you think is heavier. Which one do you think is heavier, the pencil or the book? Good. I think the book too. My book was definitely heavier. Okay, so they've got a paper clip and a paintbrush. Out of these two, paper clip is really light. You can get a paper clip out of your bag of stuff. I've sent a lot of paper clips. So feel your paper clip, and you could even just do your one of your bigger, stouter pencils, but this is a little heavier than that. So which one feels heavier? Can't tell. If I close my eyes, I don't even know I would know that this was in my hand, but I can feel the pencil. So which one do you think out of these two is heavier? Which one weighs more? Which one's heavier? Paperclip or the paintbrush, or in this case I've got a pencil there. Yeah, I agree. This is definitely heavier. Okay. So they have you going through, and we're just going to look at them and we're going to use our best thinking and try to determine which one do we think is going to weigh more. So they've got your right hand and your left hand, and they're asking you if you can find these things at home to hold them and figure out which one weighs more. That's fine. You have glue and you have paper for sure. You have a crayon. I don't know if you have any of these little erasers. So if you find something that's small like that, I want you to go through, and if you don't have yarn, a little piece of yarn and a block, you can find something similar. Just have your mom's and dad's write on the edge what it is that you weighed and which one you thought was heavier. And again, I'm not going to be grading this as a wrong or right answer. I want you to think, what is heavier? What weighs less and what weighs more? So this is less, it weighs less, it's lighter, weighs more. Kind of like the bears that we did in the bears measuring book. Okay, so now the last thing that we're going to do, this is your chapter test. And what's strange on this is they did not put a place for your name. So I want you, normally they have a place for your name. So go ahead and put your name here. I am not going to tell you the answers. And I don't want you to ask mom or dad for the answers. So I'm just going to read you the question, and if you need to, pause it so that you can answer. So on the first one, we have our 2 ribbons. So I want you to circle the ribbon out of these 2 ribbons that is shorter. Circle the ribbon out of these 2 ribbons that is shorter. Okay. So we have a crayon and we have a notebook or a book, a heavy book. I want you to circle the one out of these 2 that weighs more. Circle the one that weighs more. Which one is more, heavier, more? Which one weighs more? Circle the one that weighs more. Okay, and this last one here. Circle the one that holds more. Which one is holds more? Has a larger capacity. It holds more. More donuts for Mrs. Duffield. I want you to think about it. How do you know that it could hold more? Go ahead and say it right out loud. How do you know that it could hold more? The one that you chose. Okay, good thinking. Okay, let's go ahead and turn it onto the back. So these, I've got 3 flower pots. On this first one, on the whale, I want you to draw a flower and a flower pot that is heavier than this one. Draw me a picture of a flower and a flower pot that's heavier than this one. Okay, go ahead. If you need to pause the video, that's okay. You're going to draw a flower and a flower pot that's heavier than this one, than the one with the pink pot and the yellow flower. Okay, go ahead and pause and draw one that is heavier. Okay, on the green turtle here, I want you to draw a flower pot and a flower that's lighter, that weighs less than the blue pot and the yellow flower. Draw one that weighs less. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and draw a flower and pot that weighs less than this one. Okay, our last one. I want you to draw a flower pot and flower that weighs the same as this one. Draw a flower pot and a flower that weighs the same. So this one weighs more. Draw one that weighs more. This one was draw one that weighs less. This one I want you to draw a flower and flower pot that weighs the same. Okay, that's your Chapter 9 challenge and test. I'll put this off to the side. Good job, you did really great. We're done with Chapter 9. Woohoo! Can't wait to see how you guys did. If you have any questions, of course, always you can ask me. I am happy to answer any questions. Good job, guys. See you next time. Me and Ribbit saying goodbye.